and running. Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or over in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
Well, all right.
Woo-hoo!
Here we are, smiling and ready to go.
We are live and in color.
I get so nervous. No, I don't, actually.
If we got nervous, we would do a lot more editing.
There is no nervousness here at all. But, you know, it's like, I'm reminded of this. Somebody said something about that the other day, and it's like, you know, when I first started out in radio, I mean, I would get dry mouth. I would get so nervous because I know there's hundreds of thousands of people possibly listening at that time. You know, it was like, I would get, you know, I was 24, 23. So I was like, yeah, I got nervous, but it's like, and this is, you know, we just hit 130 countries and I'm still not nervous.
And how many countries are we in now, Mike?
We are in 130 countries, and we've had a big jump lately. I don't know what happened.
Two big jumps, huge jumps.
It was weird. It's a couple of weeks ago we were at 95, and then
a few moments later
we went to 130. It's very strange, but I mean we're grateful. I mean,
very grateful.
Kosovo got added. It was our last country that got added. So I was like, okay. And there's only 195 countries?
195 countries, and we're in 130 of them.
Yeah.
We rule the world. Or we rule the world, in case you can't understand the accent there.
So we got 65 to go. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Did you get the date and stuff put in? Yeah, we've got 65.
Oh, no, I didn't actually. Welcome to this week's episode of Stay Off My Lawn. It's July 14th, 2026, and this is episode 171.
That's right. We're professionals, and we do it perfectly every single time.
Totally forgot. Yes.
We have one more thing.
Who's ready to party? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Who birthday is it? It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Who birthday is it? It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, I mean, so we're both officially old farts now. But you are going to you're going to be 70 in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, exactly. I get to have my birthday on the show. What a way to spend my birthday, but with you fine people out there. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say me personally, and I thought I was going to be.
No, I was talking about
so
them
flattered.
out there. Why would I be all excited to spend it with you?
Well, it just keeps getting worse, doesn't it? Anyway, so. No, I was going to tell you that there's a movie out in the theaters right now called Young Washington. It's by Angel Network, and we've got one of the tickets free for being a veteran and everything. So we're actually going to go this afternoon at 3:00. So
cool.
That's going to be fun. I'm going to try to talk about that next week. Every review I've seen is fantastic. It's supposed to hold pretty true to history. They do take a little bit of creative liberty here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So I'm looking forward.
It's had just wonderful reviews. Theaters have been being sold out continuously.
Yeah.
So that's a really good thing. I don't remember where it's at, but that Supergirl movie was not a big opening weekend, and it dropped 70% from not a real good opening weekend to even basically nobody went to it the second week.
You know, and it's almost like I don't even want to say this, but it's almost like they found the least attractive person to play that. I mean, it's like I've seen Supergirls in previous things, and they've all been good-looking ladies. I mean, but they I don't know. This girl kind of looks a little bit like Greta Thunberg to me. I drank my coffee wrong.
We saw her on the end of, we sat and watched that. Why we watched the whole thing, I don't know. But it was a Superman movie from like 2 years ago. It's relatively new.
Is it the same girl?
Yeah, she was Superman was watching Supergirl's dog that was super.
Oh.
And the dog didn't mind anything. And then this girl shows up at the end, and she's some little snotty like teenager who just like should be chewing gum the whole time, and she's got all these superpowers, and I'm just so good, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching the dog, and picks the dog up and books it. It's like, yeah, that doesn't make me want to watch your stupid movie.
No. I saw that in a commercial where they were delivering a pizza to Supergirl, and it's like the dog was there, and I'm like, yeah, it's just so silly. It's so silly. Anyway, we got a few news stories to get to. Graham Platner is out, even though Pocahontas, Senator Elizabeth Warren, said this at the time.
That's my kind of man.
He's so dreamy.
He is. The Nazi tattoo did it for her, I think, right there.
I love when they got him to remove himself.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you heard the next day is, well, we all saw the signs. Really? That's not what you were saying 2 days ago.
Does
he
that
was
not
the best thing to go into Congress.
Does that now remind you of when Biden was showing very clear signs that he was not
we all knew it.
Capable of everybody knew, but everybody was like, he's as sharp as a tack. He's the best version of Biden I've ever seen. Then 2 days later, they were like going, well, we kind of saw all this. It's like, so, and we're going to get to this. This is another reason why we don't trust the media anymore. And this is anyway, we're going to get to that
one
here
of
in
many reasons why we don't trust the media.
Real quick, the June inflation numbers came out as 3.5% annualized, which is 0.4%, almost 0.5% drop since May, which is a positive thing. Senator Lindsey Graham. Let's go to Senator Mitch McConnell. Apparently, according to the hostage photo that we just saw, the proof of life photo that we saw with the newspaper.
Photo. That's closer because they had a newspaper, and stuff just didn't look right. Her hand looked like it was floating in air. It was.
I was counting her fingers because I expected to see 6 or 7. Because it looked AI-ish to me.
It just wasn't right. Oh, did you? You didn't have any clips for Graham? You're not going to play 11 minutes of him?
Nope,
ranting and raving.
I've done it. I've done my Graham Platner thing. I'm not giving him any more attention because I think he liked it. The oyster farmer that only had one customer. No, I've got no, and it's his mother.
Yes, and it was his mother, and the Nazi tattoo, and that was, he was young, no, he wasn't young. He got it in his 30s, for crying out loud.
Oh, but you remember when Brett Kavanaugh was being confirmed? It's like they had this whole thing: believe all women, and if they accused you of sexual assault, then you believed them. Well, this guy, why you can't believe them? It's like, what do you mean? And so it really depends. It really depends.
Some women, well, a few. Well, as long as they're probably just right-wing nuts anyhow.
Yeah. This is like the 14th woman to come forward, and it's like, I guess 14 was enough, and they just said, yeah, I've had it with the whole thing. But anyway, Senator Mitch McConnell apparently still alive. Senator Lindsey Graham.
Well, as best as we can tell from the hostage photo, he's still alive. Yeah. He looks better in that picture than he has in the last 10 years.
That's what I'm thinking. He just had this, it looked like a 10-year-old picture at least.
Yeah, because he ain't looked that good for a long time when he was standing at a podium and had to be smacked to reboot.
He needed to be rebooted. Exactly. He had a glitch in the matrix there, and I don't know. Anyway, Senator Lindsey Graham sadly passed away this past Friday. I saw a story yesterday about him that when his little sister, who by the way is going to be finishing out his term in the Senate, looks like the governor of South Carolina, said, she's going to be the person filling in the seat, which is great. It's a nice tribute to the senator. But anyway, when she was a teenager, she lost her mom to cancer and lost her dad to a heart attack, massive heart attack.
She was 13 years old. And
she was 13.
Lindsey was in college at the time, and he formally adopted her, and he was her guardian and helped finish raising her. And he was talking and said that was one of his proudest things, is how well she turned out, that despite all the things that have happened. So she's a smart cookie. And I did not realize that he had been in the Air Force for 31 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he was actually in the Air Force when he adopted her, because if anything happened to him, then she would get all the benefits.
He went into the Air Force to be able to have the funds, and then he was in a colonel or something. I don't remember.
I think he was a colonel when he retired. Yeah. He retired back in 2003 or something. It was or 13. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was in the reserves. I think he was only active duty a handful of years, but then he was in the reserves and the National Guard for quite a while. So, which I did not, like you said, I didn't know that either.
I had no clue. Yeah.
But he grew up not too far from where I live right now, and had very humble beginnings, and you got to appreciate the good things. That I didn't see eye to eye with him on a lot of things. You and I've talked about this.
Yeah, he was a flip flopper. He would be a rhino. Then it was like, oh, he's back in the fold. Oh, he's back out of the fold. Oh, he's back into the fold. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I know it. But on news of his death, the conspiracy theories ran wild almost immediately. The Russians did it. The Iranians did it. It's like,
oh, the Iranians, the IRGC took credit for his death.
Did they? Oh, I didn't even see that.
And he apparently had the same affliction that his father had, and that's kind of what took him out. It's one of those hereditary things that if you're not doing all your health stuff.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure you sign off on this. It's like, I'm personally very skeptical of most stories the media feeds us, no matter what it is. Even this is like, that was one of my first things my brain went to, is that, was there some kind of hinky going on? Because he just got back from Ukraine. So it's like, and he's no friend of Putin and the Russians, and he's made that very clear that he wants Ukraine to come out of this on top. Which I think most of us Americans kind of see Ukraine as like, I'd like to see them maintain their sovereignty. I think Russia should just keep to themselves. But anyway, there's still a toxicology report that we're all kind of waiting on. I don't know whether it's going to come out today or not, just to make sure there's nothing that could have happened. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, maybe. I mean, again, you just don't know. Anyway, so why are we so skeptical? Yesterday, Clay Travis actually talked a little bit about this, and when this really kind of turned the corner for most Americans, most thinking Americans, put it that way. If you're a follower, maybe not so much. But anyway, he kind of covered this very well.
Every COVID conspiracy that you were not allowed to discuss in public being proven to be true has fundamentally broken the trust to a degree that I've never experienced in my life between the public and elected officials, people in positions of power in government, people in positions of power in media. A lot of you just do not trust what you are told, period. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Every conspiracy is not true. But the number of conspiracies that were proven true during COVID has created a world where, in conjunction with social media and the incentive structure there to question everything, a lot of us, and I'll put myself in this camp, are just immediately skeptical when we hear stories.
No doubt. And I really think COVID was a turning point. I think he's absolutely right.
Well, those that like to be told what they need to think. I mean, that was one of the things when we bought the car from the daughter-in-law and drove it across country in August of 2020. What? You did? Now, no shots, no deaths. We didn't get, it was no big deal.
You think it'd be bodies in the street is the way
somebody'd go by you on the freeway and you look over and go, what? There's not but one person in the car and they got a mask on. down the road. It's like,
Sometimes you
really?
still see that once in a while. It's like
Oh yeah, no,
bizarre.
it was big in Hawaii, and I don't know the reason for that, but
They're very lefty in Hawaii. Yeah.
yes, oh they are. But there was lots of the mask being worn. It's hot and muggy. Why the hell do you want to do that? I don't get it. But
Makes no sense.
no, it's maybe it's because my heritage, my grandparents, both of them were from Missouri, so and my wife was
Show me.
born in Missouri, and so it's kind of yeah. You say what? Show me. I want to see. Come on. So,
But and we've talked about this ad nauseum probably, but when they came out and were squelching the voices of people that were questioning things during COVID, to me that was the big turning point. Because I remember even in March, I remember looking at my wife when every time we watch a news story, it's like COVID, 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 and you'd think it was the dang bubonic plague, and that people were just dying left and right, when that was truly not the case. And I remember looking at her going, something just doesn't seem right. It almost seems propagandish, and
almost.
yeah, I mean,
pretty much seemed propagandish.
in March of 2020, that was the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just not seen anything like that previously. And then when they took people like Joe Rogan and took people like, what's that doctor's name? Gosh, I can't think of his name. The guy with the white beard, Robert Malone, Dr. Robert Malone.
Yes.
He was on the Dark Horse podcast. They deleted that off the internet, off of YouTube. I mean, everybody who said, I don't know about this, the numbers they're putting out. I don't know about this vaccine they're putting out. You got to be careful. And they were just kind of like, the government was stepping in and squelching those voices. To me, that was so much like what Solzhenitsyn criticized the Russian government. And if you don't know your history, you need to look up Solzhenitsyn and see what happened with him.
Oh, hell, just go look up Great Britain right now. Somebody just got 20 months in jail for a Facebook post. It's like, what? That's crazy. Now the wife did some researching on stuff too, and she goes, something's just, we're not taking that shot. She goes, you take the shot, we're divorced. Okay, well, I kind of understood that she meant no.
If you didn't have incentive before.
Yeah, but it's funny. Our county, we're out in the country. We don't have anybody real close to us. I mean, like within a half a mile. But our county where we were had like 35% is all that got vaccinated out in.
Yeah.
The farther out you went, as people went, yeah, no, not going to waste my time doing that crap.
But on this side of it, you can look back and just like what Clay said, it's like you can look at all those things that everybody questioned, and it was like almost everything was correct. Questioning the 6 foot social distance. COVID can travel 6 feet, but not 6.1 feet. What? I mean.
I know. It's like, what?
The cloth masks, even though USA Today, I actually took screenshots of the USA Today article saying that the COVID molecule was 0.06 to 0.14 microns in size. And even an N95 mask only blocks out 0.3 microns and above. And it's like the USA Today, being the liberal rag that it is, it actually admitted that. Of course, you probably can't find that on there now, but I've got screenshots. So, I mean, I have proof. But, I mean, those kind of things, it's like so much didn't make sense.
Well, and we played on our show at kind of the end of that, and we're talking about it, where, what was it, 36 TV stations were all standing there, and somebody had them all timed where they were saying the exact same thing the same way. The message hasn't changed, and it was all these little small TV stations literally from one coast to the other, scattered all over. The one they started with is in my area. It's the liberal CBS station. Yep.
It was a copy and pasted message from the White House that everybody had to say. That was
you've got to say this. You got to, and when they're pushing that stuff, the same thing with the 2020 election. How many of those lefty stations all went? This is the most secure. Why do you keep telling me it's the most secure? Why there's not been secure ones? There's been a problem, but everybody would tell you that was the most secure election.
You ever
Not
meet
really.
somebody and they tell you that I'm one of the most honest people that you ever meet? Well, to me, that sends up the radar to me. And it's like, you got to be a big liar if you got to tell me that. I mean, let me figure that out on my own.
I'm so well educated, which
yeah.
means I'm smart. Are you really? You got the common sense God gave a rock.
Yeah. You've been indoctrinated, not educated.
You're kind of an educated idiot. That's what I call
Life educates you much better. You and I have talked about this many times. So.
Indoctrination, not education. Indoctrination.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
So anyway,
Yeah.
So we had a message.
Yeah, we don't trust the mainstream media either.
Not at all. Not at all. And and if that makes us look like tinfoil hat wearing people, then that's fine. But I mean, I think that questioning things, and I've always been a little bit of a skeptic my whole life. But I mean, this is just kind of like multiplied it by 50. The last 6 years on this planet, especially in this country. I don't know about how Europeans, I think they were even worse. But if that message that all those TV stations put out there, if that didn't look like state-run media from the Soviet Union, I mean, how in the world do you sit back and go, that's correct? It's got to be right. They're all saying it. How does that not send off all the red flags in your head?
Well, we've just had millions and millions of visitors in our country because of the World Cup, and they're all going, well, they told us that things were going to be horrible and people would be just shot just as you walk by, and you just got to be careful. And it's like, what? Because everybody's got guns, and they're going, everybody's really nice, and people talk to you, and they go, oh, hi, hope you're having a good day. They go, what are you talking to me for?
Yeah, because I think mostly in Europe, you don't have that kind of cordial behavior. I think that, especially like in France, the way I understand, they're very rude. But I think as Americans, especially here in the Southeast, I mean, we're notorious for being friendly, and we played that a couple of
Idaho. It's being invaded by too many folks from other big city stuff, and it's
us too. That's why we got 2 Democratic senators. I think that's here in Georgia, because it's like,
it all comes from just where the population stuff is, and that's just really sad.
It is sad. It really is. Anyway, we had a message left for us last week, and this is actually pretty fun. This is Rebecca, and I can't remember where she's from, but here she is.
Hey guys, I love your show. This is Rebecca from Lynchburg, Virginia. I heard you talk quite a bit about the Democratic Socialists of America movement, and it kind of sounds like you're making a mountain out of a molehill. I mean, there's not that many of them, and they all seem kind of too crazy to accomplish anything. Are you kind of being conspiratorial, maybe?
I can see where you might think that, Rebecca. We appreciate you listening, by the way.
Lynchburg. That just reminds me of having a Lynchburg lemonade. Lemonade is really good when it's hot out, especially after 3 or 4.
I never heard of that.
You haven't heard of a Lynchburg? Yeah, it's hooch, and and it is just very.
I heard the Long Island iced tea, but
very similar to the refreshing part of it.
Yeah.
But the next day you go, I don't feel so refreshed anymore.
Wow. But anyway, as far as the Democratic Socialists of America, we have really, I don't think it's conspiracy that this is all part of a bigger plan. And we've got receipts, so we're going to show this to you. But if you think about, and again, we are a little bit of a history nerds, both Richard and I are. But if you the Soviets and the KGB, they implemented this, and we back in the 60s on America, and we've got a recording of an ex-KGB agent that we played a couple of times. We may do that next week, maybe. But if you remember your history, the Nazis and the Bolsheviks both were thought of as this, they're just a bunch of crazy people over there, and they're really
just a bunch of Bolshevik.
Yeah, it's a lot of Bolshevik, but it turned out to where they made a huge difference, led to the Russian Revolution, and of course we all know how the Nazis kind of took over Germany. But you hear the mainstream Democrats. That's not easy to say, and the media sometimes say that this is all just the DSA. They're just pocket of the Democratic Party. Anyway, you sent me this. I think Blender News, they're out of Canada, has put out something very interesting on the rise of the DSA, and it follows a similar pattern. And this is what they have reported on.
Here's how psychopathic narcissists establish dictatorships in 4 simple steps. First, radicalization. The aspiring tyrants convince unsuccessful people and social outcasts that they are oppressed. This narrative, whether factual or not, becomes a shield for their tyrannical aspirations, camouflaged behind empty slogans of compassion, liberation, and virtue. Once the victimhood narrative gains traction, the next phase unfolds: destabilization. Mobilizing their newfound army of victims, these psychopaths call for revolution against anything and everything resembling the status quo, arguing for the transfer of power from oppressors to the self-proclaimed liberators, aka the psychopathic narcissists. Now that existing power structures are being destabilized, the psychopaths take advantage of Littlefinger's observation that chaos is a ladder and seize the opportunity to implant themselves in every facet of society: government, academia, media, and beyond. This marks the onset of the third stage, crisis. By exploiting manufactured crises like war, public health emergencies, or economic turmoil, the psychopaths justify consolidating power under the guise of restoring social stability. Citizens, unable to distinguish between wolves and sheep, relinquish control in hopes that the tyrants will rectify the chaos that they created. With the psychopathic narcissists fulfilling their desires of centralizing power within their grasp, any form of dissent becomes a threat to their rule. This is when the final stage ensues: normalization. Through mass imprisonment or execution, the tyrants now purge anyone who questions their authority, including the destabilizing victim warriors who aided their rise, as they're sure to awaken to the fact that they've just replaced one oppressor with another. Throughout this process, only those who adhere to and enforce the tyrant's doctrines are spared from political violence. This is why we must always remember George Orwell's words: one does not establish a dictatorship to safeguard a revolution, one makes the revolution to establish the dictatorship.
Boy, it's just so, I mean, it's rapid fire, but he's right on everything.
Yeah, he's very good. It's somebody that I follow and hear quite often, and that was just, wow, that was too good, because we're like in phase 2, I think, and getting closer to phase 3. Canada is like, okay, people are trying to leave Canada left and right.
I know it. But you think about, I was thinking about phase 3. They dipped their foot in that pool back during COVID, getting rid of people and getting people to shut up about things or take them out, deleting them off of their social media platforms. So I think that, a lot of that, we get a Democrat in 2028. I think that everything that has been accomplished in this second term of Trump, not like I said, I don't carry pom-poms for anybody. Trump is who he is. There's a lot of good things that I think he's done. But I do think J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, either one, would do a great job.
Well, and there's lots of talk about them. Marco at one time said that if J.D. runs, I won't run against him. Right. And that he said I would be vice president, so he could be, and he's a young enough fella that he would be around to take over after JD was done. It just depends on who does what. But sure, they're both just exceedingly intelligent.
Oh yeah. And JD held his own on The View a couple of weeks ago. Remember we saw the clips
with Bill Maher as well. Yeah. And was cordial and would laugh about stuff and not be combative and be friendly with them. And the ladies on The View didn't know how to deal with that, and they're about to get canceled. So.
Yeah, I think so. But JD, he'll dress you down and smile while he does it, which to me I think is the perfect combination.
Yes.
But he's way too smart. And then Marco, he's smart, but he can be combative. He can be a little bit more nasty about that. Not nasty. That's not the word. He can be
combative. I think works. That works. It's like, no, you're not. I'm not allowing you to set up there and lie. I don't care if you have 5 minutes or not. I'm not going to allow you to a bold-faced lie. Well, that's what they just keep doing. The Democrats are doing the same old crap they've been doing. But this fancy thing called the internet, people are going, no, that's a crock of no.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's take a quick break. And at the end of this commercial we've got, I watched the Home Run Derby last night on Netflix. Man, it's probably the best entertainment on television I've seen all year. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. And if you don't watch the Home Run Derby every year, I mean, you're missing out, because it's absolutely fantastic. This year was by far the best one so far. But anyway, at the beginning of it, they had a petty officer from the Navy sing the national anthem. So we'll have that on the other side of this commercial. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Kendra Rains. These two old dudes crack me up. That's why I listen to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
Because of you, we'll never be lost in the middle of a dense forest without a little plastic toothpick again.
Won't get lost again.
What's that bulge in my pocket? It's my knife, and my tweezers, and my scissors, and my spoon, and my bottle opener, and my fish scaler.
Take it to the max.
And my leather awl, and my corkscrew, and my nail file, and my paring knife, and my hasp.
What's a hasp?
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor, because you make our pockets bulge humongously with pride.
Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Now, here to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome U.S. Navy musician, First Class, Rachel Coleman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Then they had the fighters fly over. It was fantastic.
They've been doing a really good job, and we've gotten a lot of the world, because it's being played in America, gets played before whatever the other countries' anthems are for the soccer stuff, and they're all singing it.
Yep.
So I think that's just awesome to hear some of this. And it reminded me yesterday, I run across videos and go, I don't know why they give that to me, but it was interesting. And it happened on the base that the daughter and son-in-law, they live on base. So they have reveille in the morning, and you get a 5-minute warning before it goes off. There's something that it's
you really?
Yes. The first time I heard it, I was grilling outside, and it was ba 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 ba, and they're at the post. And it's
I was going to say we didn't have that when I was in. It just started. It was 7:15 in the morning. That was it. So. That's
what they have, is the same stuff as if the bugler at a racetrack plays that. They're at the post. It's like, people pay attention. They're about to go. And I'm cooking away, and all of a sudden I went, oh dear. So I had to keep an eye on my food and listen. And it's like, I don't think anything's burnt. Yeah. But I saw a video yesterday of teenagers were playing. They were throwing water balloons in a park, and they were all running. And all of a sudden that started, and they're on base, and everybody just froze right where they were at, what they were doing. A kid was on a skateboard going down the sidewalk, and he just did that, and the skateboard just slowly went off into the grass.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, they're all, one guy, you can hear him hollering. It's like, I think I'm going to make it to the car before he was about 4 steps short.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a minute and a half, whatever it is, 2 minutes, and it's over. But he was bucking his butt to try and get to the car before the music started. Too late.
Yeah, I was going to say it's at the same time every day, both times, and you gotta if you don't miss it, it's on you. So, it was at the home run derby. There were so many different players there, all the players that were going to be in the All-Star game and everything. And you got Dominican Republic guys that were born there, and Venezuela and different places, and of course we had Americans, and everybody stood, and it was like. They all, it was just a nice thing to see. They had a big flag on the field that they were all holding, and it felt like old times again. The pride in your country, and it was just nice. None of the kneeling crap and none of that stuff that was going on a few years ago. So, hopefully, we're past all that.
One can hope, but I did see Kaepernick's name came up again, and still wants to play. And it's like, why do you want that distraction in your locker room or anywhere near your team?
He's got to be like 40 years old by now, right? I mean,
he's got to be getting close. I saw him play at Boise State game that we went to, and it went into overtime. He was pretty good, and we were just back and forth, and we ended up.
When he first got to San Francisco, I liked watching him play. I thought he was very good, but then this whole kneeling thing started, and it was like I lost all interest.
Well, and the other thing was they said he was not coachable. I'm not doing it like that. And if you think you're better than NFL coaches, yeah, you're probably not going to last long.
Well, that's why no other team wanted to pick him up too. I'm sure that's part of the reason.
He was not coachable, but so that's all some of those things that are happening. And do you have more on the DSA?
Yes, I do. So far, 5 House Democrats have lost their primaries to DSA people. And that's just so far. I think there's another one to go. Even the prediction markets are kind of bullish on the shift within the Democratic Party, which the prediction markets have really kind of taken over a lot of things. But CNN's Harry Enton talked about this just recently. Here he is.
So if you look at the Kalshi prediction market and the chance that 6 House Democrats go down to defeat, lose their primary in 2026, this number has consistently over the last week or so been hovering 80, 90%. And when we talk about history books, the history books, right? If in fact 6 House Democrats went down to defeat in 2026, it would be the largest number in a post-redistricting cycle for Democrats. And get this, over 50 years.
Now, to be fair, I don't know exactly whether all of them were DSA people that won those primaries, but you can only assume. I didn't look all that up.
They did win. I know 3 in New York and 1 in Colorado, and the one in Colorado is
I remember the 3 in New York.
Nutbag communist. She is just wow. She is dangerous, but they don't think that they can beat Republicans. But Mom Donnie wasn't supposed to win either, so. No. That's why they're not wanting the Save America Act, is because, wait a minute, how are we supposed to cheat if we... You are cutting out 20 million of our voters. 20 million, huh?
Yeah.
Where are they from?
And again, 80% of Americans think the Save America Act, that showing ID to vote is a positive thing. And I think they're going to squeeze it in. I mean, now that Lindsey Graham's not in the Senate anymore, maybe they're going to wait until his sister gets in there, but I'm sure she'll vote the same way that he does. But Lindsey supposedly just recently said that he was optimistic on the Save America Act to go through. But anyway, the CNN political commentator Van Jones, who I probably have agreed with 2 to 3% of the time.
That much? Wow.
I'm being generous today.
You're really open-minded today.
A broke clock is right twice a day. Right? Anyway, he had some good insight on some of this too.
Progressives have a politics that says all white people are racist, all men are toxic, and all billionaires are evil. It's kind of hard to keep them on your side. And so we might want to think about, if you're chasing people out of the party, you can't be mad when they leave. And maybe if we had a different politics, we actually said dignity for everybody, everybody's respected and we need you, more people might stay.
So he's not completely stupid. He gets this. I mean,
he's actually stepped back and went, this ain't good. What the heck's going on here? So yeah, that is a shocking surprise.
But it's very positive. I'm extremely encouraged.
He's not been on that side.
No,
virtually never.
Not very much. Every once in a while, he'll come out with something sort of like Bill Maher started when he started kind of going, wait, he took a step back, just like you said. He took a step back and go, this is weird. And he's starting to go down the same path. I don't know. Squad member Rashida Tlaib, who is now supposedly proclaiming to be a DSA candidate, was speaking at the People's Conference for Palestine.
Like she wasn't a DSA candidate before. Give me a break.
I know. But anyway, she's, if you don't know her background, she was born in Detroit by two Palestinian, her parents were Palestinian imports that were living there in Detroit. Anyway, this is how she talked to them and how she thinks of us.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere.
Keep it classy.
The structures that I have to work in, that we are surrounded by, was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression. Real change doesn't come from the cowards and warmongers in Congress. It comes from the streets. It comes from all of us mobilizing and seizing the power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass in this country. Now we're in Congress, and we're every corner of the United States.
So if you're still not convinced that those of us sounding the alarm bells are just modern day Joe McCarthy's, there's your proof right there.
Well, she's always been a radical nutbag anyway. She just gets all cranky, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing our country was founded on slavery. That is so far not from the truth, but okay, sure.
But that riles people up. It's all about emotions. It's not about common sense. It's not about
people. Yeah, and I just wish that people would find that little thing that, you could do if there was only some means of looking stuff up. And hardly anybody has one.
And nobody's got one, I don't think.
I'm a very privileged white boy.
That's what it is. Yeah,
I'm not been privileged at all, people.
Yeah. Former White House press secretary and Fox News host Kayleigh McEnany drills down into the structures that hold up the DSA, which, I'll be honest, I didn't know any of this. So this is a little bit lengthy. It's almost 3 minutes, but she breaks this down very well. Here she is.
Fox News has obtained documents from the Democratic Socialists of America revealing the group's updated platform, which is even more radical than before. Now, they plan to release this next week. Listen to this. The United States Senate eliminated, gone. The president and the Supreme Court replaced. The Department of War defunded. All immigrants given amnesty. That is the plan. Now, who is driving this machine? Well, they say it's the people. But a new survey shows those people overwhelmingly identify as anarchists and Marxists. Yet the media is running cover for the group. The Washington Post is claiming Republicans are falsely labeling them as communist. And other members in the media are mocking the idea of the Red Scare. But if those journalists, so-called, spent the same amount of time covering the DSA as they did a pool that nobody swims in, they would find a web of caucuses within the group that explicitly push communism. Now, the Marxist Unity Group, for example, says they are rallying thousands of Marxists in the DSA around a shared vision of the future. And they plan to achieve that future by adopting what they call a minimum maximum program. Quote, the minimum program refers to the party's comprehensive platform, the policies that it will immediately implement upon taking power, and the maximum program refers to the results of this process, a world free of the market, borders, classes, and all other oppressive structures that exist under capitalism. In a word, communism. They also proudly put on their website that they want to overthrow our Constitution. Another faction is a revolutionary Marxist caucus called Reform and Revolution. They draw influence from communist leaders like Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, and Leon Trotsky. And on their website, they promise the Communist Manifesto, which they promote. There also is the Liberation Caucus. They push Maoism, saying this: Comrade Mao's call to combat liberalism must be heeded and taken seriously. Otherwise, opportunist and revisionist trends will arise and rot the soul of the organization. And they go on to say we are unequivocally anti-imperialist. Communists in the imperial core have as our main duty the destruction of the imperialist system. And finally, there's also the Red Star Caucus, which describes itself as the Marxist-Leninist faction of the Democratic Socialists of America. Their stated goal: to abolish capitalism and ultimately to achieve communism. They go on to say they are striving to weaken and ultimately dismantle the U.S. empire. Red Star also notes that nearly half of the DSA's National Political Committee identifies as communist. That's what's hiding inside the belly of the beast. In their own words, we just showed you communism.
So, I mean, the congruency between all those factions within the DSA is communism, is Marxism, is
socialism is just the little brother of communism. It's the same thing with a couple of things different, and none of them have worked anywhere at all, period. And where they're at in the United States and they're trying this stuff now, it's not going well in Washington, in Seattle. It's not going well in New York. It's not going well in Chicago. It's not going well in Los Angeles. Where else do you want to try this that it is a flop?
Right. And to be fair, or to be honest with you about this whole thing, is like, we're not saying any of these things to get clicks or anything. There's plenty of podcasters out there throwing out weird stuff just to get clicks and likes and all that kind of stuff. We're actually sounding the alarm because this is really a threat to our foundation of our country
and our way of life.
Very worrisome.
I just to try and hear it, and there was somebody that was interviewing a congressman who is pushing the DSA, and I don't remember who it was. It wasn't AOC, but I'm not familiar with her. And the guy asked her, he says, "Oh, I just have one question. I want to know, where has socialism worked?" "Oh, is this a question for another session?"
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
It's right now. And changed the subject and never answered it. They don't have an answer for it. It has never even remotely worked. It always ends in heavy dictatorships. You got issues in Cuba that has had to be subsidized. And then they're saying, "Oh, well, that Jayapal, the saying that, oh, Cuba's medical is, just a great model for us to go after." They don't have any medicines. They got nothing. Their hospitals are filthy and dirty, and they're not clean or taken care of. Yeah, I don't want to go after that model. Thank you very kindly.
Bernie Sanders even touted the literacy for children model that they implemented back in the 60s. I'm like going, oh my gosh, anybody could implement that kind of thing. I mean, again, a broke clock is right twice a day. Every once in a while, they'll have a program that you might go, it's not a bad idea. But for the most part, I mean, come on.
Yeah, our education system bites right now. The kids don't know anything because they stopped teaching civics. They have no idea about their particular state they live in. I remember that was a big thing for everybody in like 4th grade. You learned about your state, blah, 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 and your history, and that was great. And then you started learning about the different civic things. You got into high school, you had more about U.S. government classes. You had all that stuff that taught you what's going on. Well, for some reason, my little poor pea brain, sometimes I have to knock stuff loose. It's getting old and craggy in there.
But it absorbed a lot of that. Yeah.
It was stuff that was very interesting to me. So when you're interested in it, you learn it. But it's just sad what's being done. They're indoctrinating all these kids about how wonderful socialism. No, it's not. It is anything but wonderful.
Oh no, I agree. And you know, Barbara showed me something earlier. It's like liberals or these socialists would love prison, you know, because you get free food, free healthcare, and same-sex relationships. I mean, you get it's a bundled package. But I mean,
you get fresh air. You get to walk outside every so often.
Yeah, 5 minutes a day. You get to lift weights and hang out with your friends. And anyway,
no rent you have to pay. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you can make tools out of plastic forks. I mean, anyway. Well, if you ever doubted that TDS was a real thing, it can affect some people so badly that they lose all sense of judgment, all sense of common sense, and self-control. And so for number one, the person that I like to submit is Tim Walz. Because
what? Tampon Tim? Really?
Tampon Tim. Trump and his administration are trying to get rid of violent criminals who are here from foreign countries.
Yep.
Most of us are okay with that.
Yep.
But they have to be against it no matter what because of TDS. If you're not
never
heard
said a thing when either Clinton or Obama was in charge of stuff, getting rid of people. It was fine. No big deal.
Because it's TDS. It's all about Trump. They hate Trump so badly. But
for no reason. They don't have any reasons either. You ask them, and well, it's just all the bad stuff that he does. What bad stuff? Well, there's just a lot of it. So much I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't even know where to start. Yeah,
yeah, because you can't.
What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Secretary of State Marco Rubio explains this one specific instance that we're talking about. Here he is.
Just weeks ago, a convicted sex offender and a foreign national was shielded from deportation by the governor of Minnesota. Laotian national Tu Li Bang was convicted of repeatedly sexually abusing a 10-year-old girl in the state of Minnesota. He even tried to pay his victim for her silence, and he called his heinous crimes a minor thing. Just days before this foreign sex offender was scheduled to be deported, Tim Walz, the governor, issued him a pardon, setting him free to once again endanger the children of America. Well, this week I revoked his legal status in the United States, and as a result, federal agents took him into custody, and as of today, he has been removed from the United States. Because of our action, this foreign criminal will never pose a threat to any American ever again. Americans must never be forced by their elected leaders to live alongside foreign sex criminals who have no right to begin with to reside in our country. This administration will always stand with the American people and defend them from violent criminals.
You know, if you're a parent or a grandparent, how in the world do you think that somebody who messes with a 10-year-old child should even be taking a breath?
Is the steam showing from my ears? I'm just wondering. It's like, good Lord Almighty, that's well. Marco was busy with Tampon Tim. Did you have more on him?
Yeah, I do. Oh, well, I was going to say real quick that Florida, I believe, just passed a bill saying that if you're convicted of sexual assault on a child, then you can be up for the death penalty. Which, I think I'm okay with.
I got no problem with it. Sorry, just have no problem whatsoever.
Have you heard of any good explanation why Tim decided to pardon this guy? Have you heard?
He doesn't have a good explanation.
No. He seems baffled, and this is when he was asked about this. The Kotek's governor had this to say.
In this case, I would state this, that I can find no reason how Minnesota will be safer or better if Mr. Vang is deported to a country he has not been to since he was a child.
Why do you have so much sympathy for the perpetrator? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Democratic Party right now, is they are for foreigners and those that have come in and are ruining our country, because that's their voter base, because they let them all in and told them this is who you will vote for, right?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just don't understand how and maybe that's why they're importing these votes, because they'll vote for whoever they get told to vote for.
Whoever pays them. They don't care.
They don't care because
even $2, they don't care.
Yeah. So I just don't understand how we have gone from where we were 20, 30 years ago to where we are today. That you can back somebody who's going to pardon a person who has messed with a child. I just don't get it.
Well, it just makes me, having 3 daughters, 2 granddaughters, and 2 great, and about to have 3 great granddaughters. Stuff just makes my skin crawl.
My son and I have talked about this. It's like, if anybody ever even looks at the granddaughters in a way, it's like you're going to have to bail me out because it's going to be ugly. It's not pretty. So anyway, we need a palate cleanser.
Well, before we do that, Marco Rubio was busy.
That's right.
Not just in Minnesota, but in New York also. Good old Mom Donnie, one of his aides or whatever the heck they're called, set up a meeting with Iran's consulate from the United Nations and was just about to have, and they got word of it, and supposedly Mom Donnie said he stopped it. No, Rubio stopped it because they got word of it and said, no. And if anybody's not familiar and you want to look it up, it's called the Logan Act, and that is a treasonous offense.
That's right.
Which can be punishable by death. You are talking, we're at war with Iran, and you go talk to the enemy. That's not a good thing to be doing.
Yep. So, and I think our buddy Chip Roy is actually put out there that he should be brought up on charges for the Logan Act, and at the very least deported. So
yes. Well, Mom Donnie has said, well, I didn't know anything about you didn't.
Is that the typical answer, though? I didn't know anything about it. I heard Tim Walz, when Brandon Gill was ripping him to shreds over all the corruption and everything. He's like, well, I didn't know anything about it. It's like, you're in charge. The buck stops with you. Whatever happened to Teddy Roosevelt's sign?
Anyway, yes, a palate cleanser. Okay, I got my stuff said about New York, but that was another one that just frosted my gizzard.
You had mentioned that, and I forgot to make a note. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's and we'll have to keep track of that because that's something that needs to be.
It just happened where they just stopped it like 2-3 days ago at the most. Yeah. That's relatively new, still a hot item. Okay,
yeah. So anyway,
what you got?
We got Pappy G, our West Texas Army vet, with more Americana. So here we go.
On the morning of December 17th, 1903, 2 brothers from Dayton, Ohio, stood on a cold, windswept beach at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and did something that no human being had ever done before. They flew. Not far, not long, 12 seconds. 120 feet, a distance shorter than the wingspan of a modern 747. If you blinked at the wrong moment, you missed it. But the world would never be the same. Wilbur and Orville Wright were not engineers with fancy degrees. They weren't backed by government money or powerful investors. They were bicycle mechanics. 2 brothers ran a small shop in Ohio who looked up at the sky one day and decided, with no particular authority to do so, that they were going to figure out how a man could fly. They read everything they could find. They built gliders and tested them, and they failed and adjusted, failed again and adjusted again. They wrote letters to the Smithsonian Institute asking for research material and received pamphlets that most serious scientists had already dismissed. Nobody was watching them. Nobody thought they had a chance. Then came that morning on the sand. 4 flights that day, the longest lasting 59 seconds and covered 852 feet. By nightfall, Wilbur wrote a letter home to their father. Matter of fact, almost casual, as if they hadn't just cracked open the entire future of human civilization. Here's what gets you, though. 66 years later, 66, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. The entire arc from that cold beach at Kitty Hawk to the Sea of Tranquility happened in one human lifetime. Armstrong himself carried a small piece of the original Wright Flyer fabric with him to the lunar surface. From 12 seconds in the air to footprints on the moon, 66 years. 2 bicycle mechanics from Ohio pointed at the sky and said, "Up there, there's where we're going." And America followed. Happy 250th America. Keep looking up.
I did not know that. I did not know that he had the strip of that fabric.
I did not know either. That was new. Yeah, this is fascinating stuff, how far it came. And Wilbur Wright was actually part of, I don't know what, they didn't call it the FAA, I don't think, but he helped license people to fly.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
he was part of that stuff for a lot of years.
Interesting.
So it was, this is America. You see that there might be a need for something, or you go, let's just give that a try and do it. If you do that in a communist country, they're going to come out and go, what are you doing? What you doing? Oh, we want to be part of that. That's ours now.
It's ours now. Yeah. Go home. Go back to your.
It does not encourage anybody to step outside the box or do anything. So be appreciative of what you got, folks.
Absolutely. I really enjoy these. And we've got, like I said, we've got enough to make us through the rest of the year, I believe.
Well, I like the way that he reads them to you and tells you about what they're doing out there.
I like the whistle of his false teeth too.
They put that gap in special just for him.
It's just one of those. It reminds me of older people when I was a kid. Everybody talked like that. Anyway, we hope you were somewhat informed and had fun like we did. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Smart Speaker, Rumble, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you just have trouble looking up podcasts, just go to our good old website of StayOffMyLawn.us for all our past and present episodes.
And we'll see you next week, folks.
Toodles, and thanks everybody for telling a friend about us. It's really working well. You all are awesome. And all of a sudden we're in 130 countries in the world. We are honored to come and have you listen to us each week. We appreciate you.
It's growing like gangbusters, it is.
We're just going, what? There was more than 4 people listening? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, there was 5. Oh, well, okay.
But we did appreciate the 4 of you when you started out.
That's right. So have yourself a great week, and we'll be back again next week. Well, we had fun and hope you did too. The opinions heard here today are not those of anyone other than Mike and Richard. If it made you laugh or go, or even, then we've done our job. Sort of. Mostly anyway. And if we made you think about things in a common sense manner, we welcome you to the club. And if it didn't, then just stay off my lawn. See you next time.